Hi, my name's Sam, and I've never made a YouTube video before. I've never actually recorded myself while this is happening. But I'm making this video because I have anxiety disorder, general anxiety disorder, and also panic disorder. And I've been diagnosed with that since I was around about 12, so nearly 10 years. I'm 21 now. I'm actually making this video right now because I have anxiety right now. I have it quite bad, and I've been trying to fight off a panic attack for the past half hour, and I've sort of kept it at bay. But I wanted to make this video not only to help myself distract myself, but also I wanted to make this video to anyone who's suffering with anxiety. Number one, if you are having a panic attack right now, I'm so sorry to hear. They're the worst things in the world, and you're doing really well to control it. But I want the main thing for you to remember is that nothing's going to happen to you. Nothing bad is going to happen. And anyone who's having anxiety symptoms right now, whether that be rapid heartbeat like I was just having, shallow breathing like I still am having, tingly skin, if any of you know what that is, sort of feeling like you're not here, feeling like you're going crazy, chest pain, pains anywhere really. Anxiety comes in any shape or form, whether it be you're having stomach ache and your stomach's in knots, or you feel like you're going to faint, or you feel like you're going to drop, or if you just genuinely feel uneasy. I wanted to make this video just to remind everyone that they're not alone. And it's also good to talk about it because not everyone talks about it as much anymore. So if you are having anxiety right now, it's shit, isn't it? I mean, there's not really much to say about it other than all you have to do. Mainly, what I find the best thing is, if any of you have been to cognitive behaviour therapy or know breathing techniques or know distraction techniques, then you do those. But I would just say in general, just distract yourself. And I know it's hard and it's tough. Anxiety can actually be really good for being productive. So if I'm having anxiety, I'll play the piano, or I will tidy my room, or tidy the house, or I'll go walk the dog. Sorry, I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry. Yeah, just distract yourself. And also just remember that nothing bad is going to happen. And all these feelings are actually natural. They are your body's defense mechanism for something called a fight or flight reflex. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar what a fight or flight reflex is, it is when your brain sends a negative thought down into your body, which triggers adrenaline from the kidneys, which surges up through your body, and this causes all these horrible, shitty symptoms that make you feel like you're going to die. So, like I said, all of them: the racing heart, the breathlessness, the dizziness, the being sick. I've actually physically thrown up a lot when I'm having a panic attack because I'm so queasy. But I handle them a lot better now as soon as I realised that they are actually there to protect me. As horrible as the feeling is right now that you have, or if you just genuinely have anxiety, you feel uneasy, and you sort of, people scratch, or if they fiddle with their rings, or if they sort of check their pulse. That's one thing I always do. Hypochondriacs and stuff, check in everything. It's just how you are wired. That's just how you are, and you can stop yourself doing these things once you remember that the result of anxiety, like panic attacks and this general feeling of unease, is a defense mechanism. It's safe. It can't hurt you, and it's never going to hurt you. It's actually there to stop you getting hurt. That's one thing I wanted to mention. Number two, just, yeah, like I said, just find something to focus. Like, just even maybe some of you who are experiencing anxiety right now, hopefully if you're just sort of listening to me talk, I know I'm not a doctor, hopefully if you're listening to me talk, you might sort of feel the symptoms starting to subside. Just me talking about it in general helps me. Mine are starting to go now. And literally about 10 minutes ago I was having like nearly a full-scale panic attack. Like, I was just in the bathroom, like just erratic, couldn't do anything, and then I just remembered and grounded myself, and I just went, "Oi, Sam, it's okay. You're not going anywhere. Everything's going to be okay." And also one of the biggest things I wanted to mention is balance. Not physical balance, just your lifestyle balance. So I know this isn't going to help your panic attack right now, but as a result of some of the stuff I'm going to tell you, personally from me, it might not be for everyone, but for me, it has helped me more than anything. is just maintaining balance. So like I think 1 in 3 people who suffer with mental health problems are substance misusers as well. So like when I go out, I will binge drink because I've had shit happen to me for the past couple of years, and I will binge drink. And as a result of having too much alcohol, I have too much stress and too little serotonin, so that triggers anxiety, panic attacks. The day after I drink anxiety, I'm awful. Too much caffeine, too much sugar, too much bad food, too much of anything really. It's okay to indulge once in a while, but just don't go crazy. It's all about balance. Like once you start mixing the balance, that sort of affects you. One thing I did want to mention is, especially for people who live in the UK, for those of you who don't live in the UK, we have something called a National Health Service, which is basically like our whole sort of country's like medical service. And our mental health side of it is actually really good, but it's so strained. So if anyone knows this, that if you're waiting for a counsellor or a therapist, if you are depressed or anxious, you're on that waiting list for at least 3 months, I think. And if you do go to the doctors, if you are brave enough and you decide to go and talk about it, like most people won't, and I'll be watching this video because I don't want to, but if you do, most likely when you go to the doctors, they will chuck something at you that is either called citalopram, fluoxetine, sertraline, and these are all known as antidepressants. And I was on antidepressants for like 3 years, and they did help most of the time, but for a lot of the time, if any of you can relate to it, I felt like a zombie. Like I didn't feel like I was actually properly here. Do you know what I mean? I felt like I was just sort of floating about. I felt like I was in a bubble, and like I'd look at my hands sometimes and they didn't feel like my own hands. I felt like I was in like a game. Just really weird. So, but a lot of the times they did help. So, but one thing I wanted to stress is that the doctors won't tell you the things you can do to prevent it. Like antidepressants to me is sort of, say if you had anxiety here, if anxiety was an object, it'd just be like, antidepressants is like getting a blanket and just putting it over this object. It's not actually getting rid of the problem, it's just masking it. That's why you have to keep taking them. I want to stress to anyone who suffers with anxiety, that the best thing that I have ever done, and it's changed my anxiety tenfold. I used to have a panic attack every day, multiple times a day, to maybe once every couple of weeks, depending on if, like I said, if I disrupt my balance, is exercise. And this is the main key. Drinking water and exercising is the best way to attack anxiety, I think. I started running about a year ago. Nothing crazy. I started running maybe 3k once a week, and then it went up to 5k, and then I can actually run 10k now a couple of times a week. And I find that just doing that, or going to the gym, or even if you can't have access to a gym, if you just want to do some push-ups, or if you just want to go walk the dog, if you don't want to run, if you can do any form of exercise, no matter how big or small, it all benefits into helping keep your stress levels and anxiety low. And it also keeps something which is called serotonin, if any of you know what that is. If you don't, it's the feel-good feeling in your brain. And when you exercise, you produce something called endorphins. Now, this feeling stimulates serotonin levels, which is why you feel like as knackered or tired as you are after exercising, you feel great, because this endorphins is boosting it, and that is better than any antidepressant I've ever taken. And plus, I don't feel like a zombie for the rest of the day after. Yeah, so I just want to say to anyone who's suffering with it that you have to just remember, keep a balance. If just from watching this video, if it has distracted you, I made this video just to give some people like an insight into any way that they could help their own anxiety. From my personal experience, it might not work for everyone, but if you have calmed down, or if you were anxious and you can feel it subsiding, or if you were having a panic attack, then that's great. I am not a therapist, and I did not make this video intending to be able to help every person, but I want to. That's why I made this video. Also made my video to help myself, and just to remind you guys that you're not alone. Do you know what I mean? There's millions and millions of people out there who suffer with anxiety, and just remember that there are better days and there are light days. They're like, of course everyone has dark days. Anxiety is just like a grey cloud specifically on maybe one day, but it's not always like bad days. For anyone who has depression or any other mental health problem that they really find it hard to grip, struggling, like when I'm at the peak of my panic attacks and I feel like I'm going to die, and sometimes you just have to talk to someone. There's, especially if you live in the UK, there's a charity organisation called Samaritans. If you type in Samaritans on Google, the number comes up. It's a 6-digit number, and you're going to have to forgive me, I can't remember what it is. But if ever you just need to talk to someone, if you are feeling down, if you ring those people, they are the nicest people, and they answer the phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, around the clock, and it's free. This isn't an ad for them. Like, I just wanted to say that they are awesome, and they've helped me a lot. So yeah, just keep those 3 things in mind. If you have an anxiety now, 1, distract yourself. To prevent it, balance, like I said. And 3, exercise. Exercise is the best thing. If you can do at least 20 minutes to half an hour of exercise every day, if you want to do more than that, then great, because that's going to help you more. But if you can incorporate some exercise and just actually making healthy life choices, like eating better, you will feel better. You will feel better. Like, instead of eating a pizza and feeling all like, oh my god, I feel so sluggish, I feel crap. And it's okay to do that sometimes, but not all the times. Whereas if you like choose to eat better things, then you feel better. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not sure how beneficial this has been for people. It's mainly just been me rambling, just to sort of help my own anxiety. But for anyone out there who has got it, I will link. I'll link my email. I'll link my Instagram. Yeah, I'll link those 2 things. I'll link my Facebook. So if ever you need anyone to talk to, I'm not an expert, like I said, but I've had it for 10 years. And if you are sort of someone who's just been diagnosed with it, or it's coming on and you don't know what it is, then you can feel free to talk to me anytime. I just want to make this video just to help anyone, or I just want to, just to distract you. So yeah, I'm gonna go now. So I hope you're alright. Just like I said, balance.